of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. And I never been down with no OPP. I talk about selling our people's property. Don't know who doing it, so don't round me out. Don't send no police round me and tell me shush my mouth. Where's our conviction? But where's our pride? We selling everything, selling our backside. Just go online, it'll make you sick. You can buy any island, just point and click. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. Hey, hey. Ride him. My mother always say when you find a donkey, ride it. Who's donkey? Man, come on. We got a whole nation in 73. Now we getting back the whole country. What kind of fools we must be, selling out for a bag of rice and a cup of tea. You know what does bug me? Help me understand. I can't find piece of property for under 80 grand, but I can fix this. I know what to do. I can squat just like them other people try make me do. See, they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country. Ooh, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. I get everybody sell some every day. They're selling one island, we and they will keep. What can be left for you and me? Is this the example? What's our kids to do? You want them have a sense of pride, or go selling too? Cause they're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes man. They're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha. They're selling our country, yes, they're selling our land. They're selling our archipelago of sea and sand. Now break down the acronym like you in class. Oh, they're selling the whole country. Ooh, they're selling aha.
Whoa, girls, we out doing
down to the place who have all the flags ringing all the time.
So
Thousands of them. Why the hell
minute.
can't they step to the plate now? This is your opportunity, Louis, George, and the rest of the brothers, to be heroes. Stand to the plate. Go down to the defense force. Say, take me. Get all your brothers together. Say, take me. Let me go back and take my country. Let me become a member of parliament in Haiti. Let me make a contribution instead of sitting on, you know what, in this country, complaining all the time. Get down to the defense force and get out of here. Go help your brothers and sisters.
So
and then let us know what happened when you come back.
I tell you, a whole mouthful. I have nothing.
Five months ago, I warned you that Brave Davis would send Bahamians to Haiti. Brave may suggest some sort of amnesty which would allow illegal immigrants already here to stay and not be deported. 2, pledge some significant amount of the Bahamian taxpayers' money or resources to help fix Haiti. Or 3, which is something that the Minister of National Security already suggested, commit to sending Bahamian armed forces into Haiti to risk their lives trying to stabilize a failed state. Now, they may not be able to say this because they are armed forces, so if they are ordered to go and they refuse, it may be considered mutiny or insubordination. But I'll come right out and tell you, ain't no Bahamian Defense Force officer trying to risk their life and die in Haiti. The Haitian people don't even want to risk their lives in Haiti, much less a Bahamian. There are things we are not willing to give up to fix Haiti: our sovereignty, our limited resources, and our lives. Now, if Brave Davis sends Bahamian troops to Haiti in the midst of this carnage, and one of them dies, that blood will not be on the hands of the Haitians. That blood will be on Brave Davis' hands. I could think of one person that Brave Davis should send to Haiti.
Let me just say that I have always been a part of this community. And there's no accident I know how to do all the dancing. Because I always be and share with you. Because you are me and I am you. And I'll be here with you always. And those who knew me from the past and know me now, they always knew that I was there and always been there for you. I don't call you all, you all are not Haitians, Bahamians. You are Bahamian, and your origin is Haitian. Mine too, and many of us. We have to stay apart for now so we can be together later. You know now.
Are you all ready and willing to go?
Est-ce que nous tous d'accord? Est-ce que nous tous faisons retourner back à Haïti? Non. Il y a pas moyen là-dedans. Le problème pays mettez-nous dehors. Pas de travail, pas de rien. Pas de manger, pas de vrai.
Good afternoon, my fellow Bahamians, and thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for always being here to educate yourself, excuse me, and to educate yourselves about what's really going on in this Bahamas, to come to be informed about what's really going on in this Bahamas. And we're going to have an interesting conversation today because we had an interesting week and we're going to have an interesting week ahead. So thank you for being here. We're gonna get straight to it. Wherever you are joining us from, of course, you know we appreciate you 100%. We always appreciate your presence, and tell us where you're joining us from. Let's take a second for you to tell us where you're joining us from. Let us know in the comments where you're joining us from. Who are you? Where are you watching from? Because we have people watching from all over the world. I haven't had time recently to let persons know, share where they are from. So let's take some time to do that right now. Come on, why aren't I seeing this showing up in the comments? Let's see if we could get that done. Let's see if we could do that. Okay, Sandy Brennan is from California. Wow. Ebony Williams is from Nassau. Brenda Ferguson is from Marco City. Stephen Riley is from North Andros. Frank Carey is watching from Coral Harbor. Dorinda is watching from Golden Isles. Welcome, Dorinda. I'm not seeing the comments coming up on the screen for you guys, but we'll try to see if we can get that done. Freeport in the house. Donald McInnes. Vanessa Pratt is right here in Nassau. Lachelle Farrington is watching from Fort Lauderdale. Marcia Demerit is watching from Grand Bahama. Latanya Camper is from one of my hometowns, Exuma. You know, I'm from Rollville, Barratari. I'm related to the Roll and Bows in Rollville, Barratari. Sandlands Village, that's Trivia Bain. Tanel Taylor is in Florida. Thank you. Shanika Gray is in my hometown of Pinewood Gardens. Bradley Dean is in Freeport. Anishka H. Road is in Carmichael Road. Thank you, Carmichael. Craig Major is in Freeport. Siobhan is in Pinewood. Thank you, Siobhan. We're looking forward to take Pinewood for Pinewood this time so that we can really have a resolution there. Marathon, that's a Kunkale. Kunkale has been fighting for our environment for a very long time. And it's admirable what he has been doing. Barbara Cartwright is in North Andros. We are coming to Andros. All right. I think that's next week. I got to look at the calendar. The dates are just flowing, man. Let me see. So, oh my God, next week we'll be in Andros. We just came back home. But the fight continues. We got to keep working, y'all. Ernest Thompson is in Freeport. Patrice Knowles in Cool Acres, Elizabeth Estate. Janice Simonet is in Eleuthero. Philip Johnson is in Riviera Beach. All right, Philip. You living your best life. Kamel Rodriguez is in Nassau. Donnell Mitchell is watching from Freeport. Eddie is in Abaco. We've been hearing so much from Abaco people. We'll be there soon. Natalia Manning's Road is in Freeport. Elder Velma Smith is saying hello to everyone. Elaine Johnson is in Exuma. Patrick Newbold is in Marco City. Yes, let's take Marco City from the clutches of Fred Smith and his puppet, Michael Pintard. Cimarron is in Patrick Newbold, I should say, is in Freeport, Marco City. QTEL Louise is in Canada. How you doing, QTEL? All the way from Canada. Monique Burrows is in Sandy Point, Abaco. Thank you, Monique. Great Exuma. Elevate your thoughts. All right, Great Exuma. North Andros, that's Mildred Miller. Shanika Gray, Pinewood. Terrence Bastian is in watching from Cuba. All right, you all the way in Cuba. You living your best life. How's the weather in Cuba? Centerville, that's Beverly Adderley. Rhonda Wilson is watching from South Beach. Vanessa Pratt says you got the whole family sitting here with her right now. So maybe you're watching it on YouTube. See if we can get that chat overlay back up for you. I don't know why it isn't showing up. We can see your comments, but they're not showing up. So we'll just try it again in a little bit. We got Bryland is here. That's Jermaine Johnson all the way from Bryland. Thank you, Maine. Malik Moss is here. What is this? Carmichael, the great constituent Carmichael. That's Kathleen Delancey, a.k.a. Blue. Jason Simmons is in Treasure Cove. Hello, Jason. Christine Evans is in Baintown. Cutel Adderley is in Long Island. Adrian Wallace is in Freeport. Kunkley is now saying Nassau. He was from Marathon a minute ago. All right. Crystal Lawson is watching from Missouri, but I'm an educator with the EEO program in Bryland. Oh, wow. Thank you. I've been in the Bahamas since the year of independence. Wow. Thank you so much, Kathleen Lawson. It's good to have you here. Thank you for your contributions to the Bahamas. Benel Ferguson is in Bamboo Town. Say, Lady Daxon or nothing. I'm with you. Bling something is out west, and they watch it from us. Mervyn L. Green. We are broadcasting you live, so I can't get the rest of you live. So sorry, Great Abakie Berry Islands. That's Edwin Ramsey. Marvin Evans is watching from Freeport. I'm sorry I can't get to all of you. Good evening to all of you. Thank you so much, Scotty Daxon, and the rest of you who are here. I got to get right to it. All right. Now, you know what you're supposed to do when you get here. That is tag some of your friends and family and share. All right. So that we can get this message out. All right. So we know what's going on. They're blocking this broadcast so that people don't see it. But so far, it hasn't affected us. Let's see if we can get that chat overlay back up and running. We'll see if it comes on. Hopefully, it'll start coming on soon. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an interesting conversation today. You got to share this one. Make sure your family and friends. Okay, the chat overlay is starting to come up now. All right. So, yeah, we're going to have an interesting one today. Before we get started, I just wanted to say a special happy birthday to a couple of people, who are our supporters. Firstly, I want to say a happy birthday to this very special young lady right here, and that is Miss Deborah Ramming. She celebrated her birthday on August 7th. She celebrates her birthday on August 7th, and we just want to thank you. Of course, they always say the coalition has the best looking women, the most beautiful women, but they are beautiful and smart. So if you're beautiful and smart, you're definitely in the coalition. They say being in the coalition makes you smart. All right. So happy birthday to you. And thank you. Y'all, we also want to say a special happy birthday to Cregus. Cregus, some of us know him as Craig, some of us know him as Cregus, but he's all the way from Green Turtle Key, and he celebrated his birthday on August 5th. That was yesterday. Thank you, Craig Curry, also known as Cregus. Thank you for all of your support. We appreciate you. You're holding it down in Abaco for the coalition and the Bahamian people. You are a COI warrior, and we appreciate you so very much. We also want to say happy birthday to a very, very special lady, and that is Miss Shanique M. Miss Shanique M. Of course, we always say coalition got the most beautiful women. They're beautiful and smart. Shanique M, of course, is one of our soldiers. She's a very brilliant young lady, hardworking young lady, who is one of the backbones of the COI. And want to say a very special happy birthday to you. And just know that we appreciate you fighting for your country. You're not doing this particularly for a party, but you're doing this for your country. She celebrated on August 3rd. And so we hope you had a lot of fun, ate a lot of cake, and that you're able to love yourself on that day. She is definitely a COI warrior princess. So thank you from all the COI family, and God bless you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just want to say that these are some special people to us, and we appreciate all of you. All right. So we appreciate all of you. So thank you so much for supporting the movement. All of our COI warriors fighting to get this country back. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, in short order, next week, that's August 18th and August 19th, we are going to be in South Andres. We are headed to South Andres, the land of Pilnin. We're going to South Andres, and we're going to have 2 town hall meetings there. We're going to have one-on-one at the ferry boat, and that's going to be at Cleora L. McKinsey Preschool in South Andres, and that's on the 18th, 7 p.m. And on August 19th at 7 p.m. at the Mangrove Key High School in Mangrove Key, South Andres. So we're going to have 2 town hall meetings. We're looking forward to see you. We're looking forward to see what's going on down there. We're looking forward to hearing from you. All right. We got some information for y'all down in South Andres. Some serious information for y'all. So I advise you to come out. Hell, what we have to say. There's a lot going on in South Andres, but we really need change. Some people say, island people are afraid to show their face. Town is so small, they don't want to be victimized. But island people have been coming up. What we'll say is that we won't put you all on camera. We won't put you on camera. Just come out, hear what we have to say, and see how we're going to transform Andres on the whole. Andres is the 5th largest island in the entire Caribbean. And so it is a powerful opportunity for economic transformation in this country. All right, so make sure you are there. Thank you to all of you who supported our last trip to Eleuthera. If you'd like to support us with this trip, you again can do so. You can go to our website and you can use your card and you can sponsor us there, or you can go to our office and you can sponsor us there or get in contact with one of our leaders. I think you can. All right, you can use this QR code also, and you can sponsor and donate to the cause. All right, or you can click on right in the comment, click wherever you are. If you're watching this from Bahamian Evolution's page, Coalition of Independence page, or my page, Lincoln Bain, you can just click on the link that you see there now, and that will go to Suncash. This link goes to GoFundMe. All right, so I'll put it to the Suncash one for now while I talk a little bit more. All right, but you can also just go to our website. So the links are there, so I'll move it off the screen. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a serious conversation today. All right, don't even know where to start. I'm gonna have to start somewhere. All right. Again, we're going to talk about the book, and we're going to talk about the LGBTQ bill that passed in the House of Assembly, and y'all didn't even see it. It just passed. It passed under the guise of something else, but it passed. None of you noticed that they were pushing a special bill right in your faces while they got you to talk about other things, including me. They distracted all of us while they passed the bill. They even passed a bill for marital rape right under your noses. And you didn't even see it. This is some serious stuff going on by this deceitful government. Every time this government and Fred Mitchell gets in power, they start this nonsense again. Every time they get in power, they try to sneak something in there. And they weren't successful before because everyone saw their referendum coming in, Bill number 4, that they were trying to push on us that would have allowed gay marriage. But guess what? They just put same-sex unions in our law, and you didn't see it. I'm going to read the law to you. And so while they had y'all talking about Lincoln being this and Lincoln being that and distracting you, while they had y'all talking about what's going to happen in the schools, what's not going to happen in the schools, and 150 soldiers going to Haiti, they got you. I'm going to show you. And guess what? The media won't dare cover this. But I'm going to show you in the law. And lastly, before I get started, on Tuesday, we're going to the office of the Governor General at 10 a.m. And so we're inviting the media, and anyone who wants to come can come. We're going to the office of the Governor General, which is right across the street from Montague. And so we're going to go on the grass by Montague, right by the road. And the grass is a park there. And we are going to have a press conference right across the street from the office of the Governor General. And then we're going to deliver an application for a commission of inquiry into the unlawful actions of Keith Bell. The unlawful actions of Keith Bell issuing or allegedly issuing or lying about issuing, either one of them are out of order, issuing citizenship to illegal immigrants and to some children born here unlawfully, ultra-virusly. We're going to deliver the application for a commission of inquiry. It's up to the government whether they go forward with it. They should. Every international law says that they should. We will see. We will allow you to see their unlawful actions. It's also with reference to the unlawful work permits and other statuses that were given out under Keith Bell, under his orders and direction, and also because of Keith Bell and the way he operates at the ministry, where he is operating the day-to-day business of the ministry. And I can tell you that they are attempting to put the director on administrative leave. The deputy director is already on administrative leave. They are attempting to put the deputy director on administrative leave. That's supposed to go down on Tuesday. And Keith Bell's office is moving from Monarch House, which is where he was standing in the window when Pintard was pretending to be interested in immigration. He's moving from there to Hawkins Hill, back to where the office of the Minister of Immigration usually is. And so there's more on that, and I'm going to break more on that again on Tuesday. And there is still more information on what's going on. We don't want you to be distracted. I normally don't even comment about stuff that's going around on social media and that kind of stuff. There's recently over the weekend, as a distraction, of course, the PLP's job is to just put as much stuff out there so you don't talk about what's really going on and you don't talk about your natural resources and how you could benefit from them. That's their job, and that's what they're going to continue to do to keep you distracted from what you should really be doing. All right. That's to keep you distracted from what you should really be doing. Now, I'm going to touch on a couple of things. All right. And one of them, I normally don't even focus on WhatsApp. I'm in 1,400 WhatsApp group, about 1,400 WhatsApp group. People, every day someone is putting me in a WhatsApp group somewhere. I honestly don't have time to monitor them. But, this weekend people were sending me, voice notes and that kind of stuff. And normally I just ignore all of them. Well, there's two voice notes that I'm actually, we're going to do it this time. Maria Daxon this weekend filed a police complaint against, this week, on Friday, I think she did, or Thursday. She filed a police complaint against a gentleman, Ozzy Poitier. So we're going to see what happens with that. But she did file that on Thursday or Friday. We're going to see if persons are of the law, if they're acting on behalf of the PLP and doing their dirty work. And so we'll allow the international community to see if this continues. All right. The commissioner is aware of it. He's very aware of that complaint. And so we're going to see what comes of it. All right. We'll keep you informed to see what the situation is. All right. And so Maria has filed an official complaint against Ozzy Poitier. And so we'll see what happens. All right. There were 2 voice notes that went out in the last couple of days that I am now going to make complaints against. Someone called me a criminal or a thief or something like that. Well, they better show where I thief something, because now they're going to be in trouble. There's also one where someone said that I had sex with some woman for land. Oh, wow. Well, I guess they could bring that imaginary woman to court with them. And the person who made that comment was actually convicted prior of criminal defamation. And I think that's going to go really bad against them. And so we'll see what happens, okay? And so, but we have to take this serious. The PLP is in a serious war, and the FNM, because they're tag teaming now. They're working together all over social media. They're working together. Watch them good. They're working together, and all they're fighting against is the COI. Watch them very carefully. They are both terrified of the COI. They are not fighting each other like they are fighting the COI. The PLP is saying nothing about the FNM. They're not fighting them. The FNM is not fighting the PLP. I know they did this little show thing with Keith Bell, but they're not fighting. They're not fighting for immigration. They have no interest in immigration. Pintar doesn't say nothing about the shanty towns or the legal immigrants who are coming here and taking over our land. He doesn't care about it. This is all a show. All right. And so watch who they are fighting. When there are people who are oppressing you or who have been oppressing you, watch who they fight, and that's who you should follow. That's who you should join up with. It's simple, but it's common sense. All right. So just wanted to say that there was something going around on social media with a gentleman called Dennis Cates. They call him Farmer Cates also. I don't have anything against Farmer Cates. I don't. They were spreading. I saw an FNM troll called One Bahamas was spreading something saying that Farmer Cates is done with Lincoln and the COI, etc. I don't know that to be the case. I don't have a problem. And if he is, that's his rights to. You can go to whatever party you want to. He has his rights to. But I applaud persons who will speak up and speak truth to power. I applaud all persons. I have very thick skin. I can take blows. That's what I signed up for. And as you notice, people attack on a daily basis, and I don't even respond to them. I really couldn't care less. All I want is for us Bahamians to benefit from our natural resources and be put first in this country. You could say whatever you want to say about me, but I really couldn't care less. And so anyone who has anything to say to me, whether it's positive or negative, I'm a public figure and I signed up for that. And so my job is to take the blows. And yeah, there are people out there who will defend me, and thank you for that. I'm defending the Bahamian people. But they started to twist Dennis Gates' words, etc. But he's a person with an opinion, and if he sees something that he doesn't like, then so be it. That's his feelings. But he said some stuff that weren't accurate, that were not accurate. And normally these stuff that aren't accurate, I don't even comment on. But you know, I think I should just. Let me see if I could find one of them so I could play it for y'all. Let me see. I don't pay much attention to these stuff like I told you. Let me see if I have that somewhere. Let me see. Sorry if I missed and played the wrong thing. Okay, yeah, I think I found one. I'm going to play this for you. Listen, everyone has a right to their opinion. But they don't have a right to wrong facts. Here we go.
I switch on Lincoln and I switch on Maria. All I did was speak truth to power. You see, that's the problem. Okay? That is the problem with people. See, nobody wants you to point out their wrongdoings. See, what Lincoln did was Lincoln, okay, badmouth Cassius Stewart. And that's our problem. You understand me? And I told him to apologize publicly so the people who in the coalition and the people who are watching him will say, well, hey, you know what? Yeah, Lincoln is the big man. He badmouthed the man. He apologized. Let all us go down there. Let's block up the road.
Yeah, didn't talk about me badmouthing Cassius Stewart. I didn't badmouth Cassius Stewart. I spoke the truth about what happened before the election, about Cassius, along with Adrian Francis, being called together by the PLP to form a fake coalition party. And I spoke that. Cassius has not denied that. And so Cassius is a grown man who's been in politics for a long time. So I think that if that is not the case, Cassius could have said that himself. And it's shocking to me how this gentleman has never heard Cassius almost on a daily basis bad mouthing the COI and myself on Shanique Miller's show. I don't even respond to that stuff. I don't have time to waste with that. But it's amazing that you could hear me speaking the truth about what happened before election with them forming a fake party, which is the intention again this election, and talking about an event that was supposed to take place. But I'll let the rest of it play, and I'll speak to that. All right.
Why, Godfrey, you and Jeff has problems.
Sorry, that's the wrong one. Let me go back to the next one.
Hey, on Prince Charles, Baraton, Independence Highway, park on all both sides of the road. People fill up the road, when they go on and they want a handful of people, you know why? Because this is what we do to one another. We chop ourselves off at the feet and expect for us to stand. You can't stand. You can't stand. You see? And Lincoln was mad at Cassius Stewart because of the vote that was voted among the coalition that put Cassius Stewart as leader. And Lincoln didn't want to accept that. So because he didn't want to accept that, they raised eternal and start a fight, carry on and everything. I'm glad I was in there.
So the gentleman says he wasn't there. All right. So someone saying they wasn't there and then saying that something happened and people are sharing that as if it's credible. The man said he wasn't there. Let me make this clear. The Coalition of Independence never had an election where Cassius Stewart was present, nominated, or had any involvement. All right? That never, ever happened. All right? That is a blatant, outright lie. Now, there was an instance where we were trying persons were trying to get everyone together, and it was actually the PLP that was trying to orchestrate this. They were trying to get persons together at this point, and they said that they wanted to have some kind of vote, all right, to see who would be the candidates, who would be the leaders, etc. We had not come together yet, but they kept trying to confuse this thing and trying to force us together. And so everyone came out. I had a big, we had over 100 people there with the COI. And so they made a rule saying that only 5 people from each could vote. They took monies from everybody present. I think it was $20 a person. I think it was. They took from everybody present. All right. And they took $20. I think it was $20, and I think persons who were to be candidates paid more. I think that was $100. I don't remember the exact numbers, but these are kind of numbers that was going on. All right, and then they said only 5 persons from each party could vote, which is absolutely ridiculous. You cannot take monies from people and then tell them they can't vote. All right. And then they had Adrian Francis coming and saying he has a party, so his 5 people must vote. And then they had Cassius with his people in their party, and then God Rusbro, who's working with Cassius, saying he have a party. And Ali McIntosh, her 5 people. which was totally ridiculous. We allowed the process to go through to see who was working together, etc. Because in this, you have to see who was cooperating with each other. And so when they did their little sham elections, one of our executives stood up and said, "Yeah, we know what y'all were doing from the break. We wanted to go through so we could see who was who and who was working together and who were the ones who sold out along with Adrian Francis and Cassius. But we're not participating in this. And so y'all have fun, do your thing. We're moving on." They went on to form a party, a fake coalition after that. When Ali McIntosh realized what was going on, she pulled out. But they formed a fake coalition. We were not a part of that. So that's just to make that clear. That is what the deal was. And so if they were so wanted, they should have had a lot of support. The fact of the matter is the Bahamian people supported the Coalition of Independence, and that's that. All right. And so we'll see what happens moving forward. But there was never an election of the COI where Cassius was voted as leader. And persons need to stop telling that lie. That is absolutely not the truth. We've had, I think, 3 elections already of the Coalition of Independence. And I was up for election and won every single one. And we have another convention coming up in short order because our constitution is finished. Let me continue this.
You see, because I would speak about it from then. It wasn't until after the fact that I learned about it and I spoke about it. You see, Lincoln them go everywhere and all about it. You know how long Lincoln them say, "Oh, Lincoln have the same mindset as that piece of garbage juice." What his name is? Adrian Francis.
There's someone on here who made a comment just now saying that people are saying you are calling Ali McIntosh begging her to join the COI. That is not true. I've not called Ali McIntosh once. All right. I know. We have some dynamic young people. You started to see them already. In our first rally, you're going to see more coming up very shortly. You're going to see more and more faces of Bahamians who are ready to change this country. All right? Not the same old faces. You're going to see new qualified persons. Just wanted to put that in there.
Francis. I used to be a part of Adrian Francis. Okay? All them days would you see Lincoln posting, but the coal killing, the Haitians and the coal in the bad guy. Who do you think I Lincoln in the bad guy? Before Lincoln started the firearm, who do you think I Lincoln in the bad guy all the coal kills was? It was me. I carry him and I carry the police. I carry CIB, not SIB, CIB, Criminal Investigation Bureau, the newest criminal organization in the Royal Bahamas Police Force. I took them in the bad guy. You know why? Because the Prime Minister sent and the Commissioner of Police, along with the Minister of Defense, send them to me to do the investigation concerning the coal kills.
Let me make this clear. I got a lot of information about shanty towns in the Cowpen Road area from Dennis Cates, and if you're watching my lives, I always credited Dennis Cates with the information that he gave. I don't understand why he is saying this stuff. Even when I showed screenshots that Dennis Cates did, it had his name on it, and I credited Dennis Cates. But I guess he needs more and more praise. Thank you, Dennis Cates, for information that you gave. I always credit persons when they want to be credited. Some people don't want to give information, and it's not about credit. I don't need people to think that I do anything. All right, we are a network of Bahamians, patriotic Bahamians, that I always credit, even when it's persons working in government offices. All right, it isn't me with all this information. This information is coming. This is a God move. All right, and it's coming divinely, and it's coming from persons who are divinely inspired to speak up and stand up for this country. All right, none of this is about me. I don't need credit for anything. I don't need credit for natural resources or anything that I'm doing. All I need is for Bahamians to be credited from our sovereign wealth fund and our carbon credits. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care about the credit for any of this stuff. And so I know one time Dennis Cates had told me about coal kill where there was a woman. And when we investigated, he told me there was a coal kill there, and I investigated and found out it was an old woman, and she was arrested. The cold kill that was found in the what we call the farm area, the Crown Line area. Dennis Cates didn't know about that. One of our persons who possessed Crown Land found that, followed the Haitians in the back there, and that's all of that. But thank you, Farmer Cates. I always share your videos. I play them on my live, and I credit you for it all the time. But I guess you need more praise. And so, guys, if y'all can praise Farmer Cates more for the she's putting out there, that may help him. Y'all let's give him some more credit.
Why you think I post? You ain't never see all of them locations I post with all the cold kills and all the Haitian villages. I did that. Not Lincoln. Huh? I did that. I was the one who showed Lincoln how you could go on Google Earth and Google the spots. You understand me? So you could see it from Google, where every village is, where every cold kill is, and anything else you want to see. Huh? Huh? But you see, what Lincoln does do is take whatever you tell him and then bring it like he is the one who discovered this, and he is the one who he never give people the props. Not just me, many other people. He never say, but hey, you know, such and such a person, you understand me? Bring this to my knowledge and my understanding. He don't do that. Understand me? I mean, it's okay if some people don't want to be known or don't want, you know, be affiliated or, you know, want to remain in the shadows. That's fine. But me, I want people to know I'm fighting for my country. That's why I went ahead and did it myself. I just post one or two. I post all. And every village against me. And I go in every one of them villages. Why you think I never went with him when he going down there with Miss Curry? Why you think I never went? I didn't know it was coming. I know it was coming. I didn't know all that was a ploy. No, they ain't gonna let him break that village. I didn't know that. You see?
I just want to stop there. You know they wasn't gonna let me break down the village, but instead of standing up and fight, you stayed home because you know they wasn't gonna let me break it down. I thank all of those men and women, even the elderly women, that decided that they were going to stand up. Whether the shutting down was broken down or not, they were going to go there to show that they were serious. I want to thank you for standing up for Miss Curry. All right.
See? So it is what it is. When the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, gave me my land on Golden House Road, I had to break them house down myself and put them people off the property myself. Understand me? Miss Curry got churned. He had the balls to go and run them people off the property, let them bully her. My boy, Wesley Ferguson down here, he went through the same thing. Big grown sons, you know, because they got good in jobs and they do this and do that and they got this and got that. They been telling daddy they had to come to claim farmland. Really? And only one stick with it and he had to give it up. And do the same thing what he daddy did would cause the problem for he daddy. Put a Haitian to live on it and maintain it. How you think Wesley Ferguson property, which is 12 acres, get to now be 4 acres? And the Haitians can't.
So I got to speed this up a little bit.
The same negligence. Why do you think the Haitians are mad at me? Never let them come and live on my land and I hire people to work when you finish working. You gotta carry your ass. And you gotta be like, let me tell you something here. Everything is a second misdirection. Alright, and I ain't afraid to say that, and I ain't got no secrets. That's why nobody can say nothing to tarnish me. You see? Because they'd be hiding and cloaking and this and that and next. But I'm the type of nigga you can't do nothing to me. Nothing. When it comes to my character. You can lie on me, but that ain't means it can work. You see what the woman do? The woman said half of the voice though. And keep that half. When she say, when I tell her, why don't you? I say, I juice you, Lincoln juice you. go to Lincoln to get your money or get your property. Huh? And that was the truth. When you and Lincoln was negotiation, you include me in that. She assumed that me and Lincoln was friends. Huh? Me and Lincoln was sociable, but we wasn't friends, personal friends. Huh? Yeah. And Lincoln is the type nigga. Anything you say to him, he's recording you. Huh? That's what he's doing. You see, and I'm quite sure you have a lot of recordings of me. Because I say plenty things to him. And if he won't post them, he can post them. And I never scared. The only thing I'm afraid of is the creator. You understand?
That comment about that he's repeating and sharing around with that nonsense about some juicing and not, I don't deal with slackness. All right? That is absolutely false. And some person's got to prove that. And again, if there's a woman, she sounds like she would be disgruntled. So that's an easy witness. So anyway, I'll leave that there. But that is completely false. In terms of I always record people, I don't. Who have I recorded? I've recorded Lanisha Rule. We all know about that. And many of you would have done the same thing in that instance, and I would do it again. Because if I get a call from a senior F&M who tells me that they're trying to set me up, they're going to call me into a meeting. She's going to call me into a meeting, protect myself. That's what I did. I protected myself. I never released that recording to the public. And you can Google and you will see the newspapers both said that they asked me for the recording. And I said, I'm not releasing that. All right. I didn't record her for that reason. The only persons I let hear that was senior F&M officials. After it went down, my Pinewood executives were angry because of what went down. Antoinette Dean was the chairman of the Pinewood executives, and she spoke to senior F&Ms, and so did I. And I let the F&M official hear a part of it, and they recorded that. And you can hear from the recording that it was a recording of a recording. All right. And they asked me for the original, give it to them. And Frank Watson and them was trying to get me because there was stuff said about Minutes that could have hurt Minutes. And I said, listen, I'm not dealing with stuff that way. And I refused to release it to them. All right. And so I'll leave that there. Listen, if the PLP had anything on me or the F&M, they would have already released it. The only conversation they could have about me is some civil lawsuit. And of course, they have trolls who are the average and, former criminals or present criminals. And so they're talking about a civil case and saying that I got convicted of something. I've never been convicted of anything in this country. You can't get convicted of something in a civil lawsuit. But PLP has slow trolls. There's a civil lawsuit where I invested, a woman invested, and she says that I'm supposed to pay her back personally. All right. She says she paid me through a check that was written out to her, and she gave me that check written out to her to cash. It was in front of Cheryl Grant Thompson, and Cheryl Grant Thompson said I admitted to receiving the check. I disagree. I never admitted to not receiving checks, receiving the money. I never did. All right. Receive a check or any money. The woman was asked to bring the check. She never did, because the check on the other side would prove that she gave it to me and that I cashed it and it went on my account. But she never did, and she never showed back up to court from 2017 to this day. We've had appeals. She's never showed back up to court. All right. I had an appeal with the Court of Appeal. I won a part of it. She won a part of it. And so now it has to go to the Privy Council. So they are saying as if I lost at the Court of Appeals. No, I won a part, she won a part, and it goes to the Privy Council. All right. And that's where it is now. All right. And it's simple as that. And that's it. All right. So as a civil matter, all right, it's not like Brave Davis is civil matter, or Obi Wilscombe or any of these people, Chester Cooper or any of these people. If you're in business, you're going to have civil matters. But the fact that that's the only thing that y'all could bring up on me, with all the business I've done in this country, y'all can't bring up me owing BEC, owing NIB, getting hit from customs. Y'all can't bring up nothing. Not owing no staff, no nothing. With all the stuff that I've done, y'all can't find nothing but a civil matter where someone says, okay, the place burned down, you pay me personally. That's it. I think you're actually making me look good. But I'll leave that there. I can't play the rest of this. I think you all have seen it. Let me tell you what my focus is. My focus is the Bahamian people and empowering the Bahamian people, including myself. All right. Let me say this. It was something where, I think that person said that, and again, I have nothing against Farmer Cates. I still don't have anything against him. Even with that, he's just expressing himself with reference to this Cassius thing. All right. Because he wanted me, and I think the rest of the audio says, I don't remember what the audio says, but they wanted me to come out to a protest. All right. And I'll get to Wongs and all that stuff in a minute. I never offered what persons are saying I offered to Farmer Cates. Before election, I did not offer Farmer Cates to be Minister of Agriculture. I did not. He was not a candidate. So how could he be a shadow Minister of Agriculture? He was not one of our candidates. How does that work? Also, he was not even a member of the COI. All right. So let's end that right there. Farmer Cates said that I was supposed to come and make him the Minister of Agriculture, and I didn't come. I don't know about that. That's absolute nonsense. You weren't even a member of the COI. You still aren't. And in a lot of his, he made it clear that he is not a COI. All right. And so to be clear with that, all right. So, all right, let's get that behind us. All right, so let's get that behind us. There was somewhere he said he told me to apologize to Cassius. I did not speak to this gentleman. He did not speak to me. I don't know what he is talking about. He did not tell me anything. And my thing is, I'm hearing that he has all these voice notes to me out there, but he knows my number. He can call me time. I tried to call him yesterday, but he didn't answer. I don't know why. But I tried to call him because, man to man, like what's the problem? All right. Now they said I call Cash as a puppet. And that is what I've experienced, and that is what I believe. And so if you have an entitlement to your opinion, I have an entitlement to mine. How is it that everyone can have their opinion except me? No, it doesn't work that way. All right. Someone said that, and even one of our people agreed with him and said he felt that I should have come out to support the children. Well, let me make this clear. All right. That wasn't about the children. From the advertisements, it was about Cassius Stewart, his face, his name, everything was all over it. First of all, I was there. I was in the middle of Arambili Park in my black truck, parked up at that event. I didn't promote it. I didn't ask anyone else to come there, but I'm politically astute. I wanted to see exactly what was going on. I was there. So I was there, all right, with my son. And I have pictures and videos of me there, all right. And what was disturbing to me was while persons were speaking, these pastors would come up, they would speak, they would pray, and while they're speaking, Cassius Stewart name is big and bold on the screen in the back of them and his picture, or just his name, or both. That wasn't about the children. That was about Cassius Stewart. Because why should Vaughn Miller be up there speaking and Cassius Stewart's name is on the screen behind him if this is about the children? After every speaker, they're playing a video of Cassius Stewart. Is about the children? Y'all better wake up. All right. After every speaker, a video of Cassius Stewart with him talking. And then when the next speaker come up, Instead of that speaker's name on the screen, Cassius Stewart name is on the screen. And that's about the children. All right. We are a different kind of generation. We smarter than that kind of stuff. All right. There's some strong words. Let me ask everyone a question here. Let me ask everyone a question. I spent too much time on this. All right. If Renard Henfield calls you guys to a we march right now and say it's for country, would you go? If Renard Henfield says, hey, we having a remarch and you all come out for country, stand up for your country. If he says, oh, this remarch is for the children, would you go? Let's do this for the children and for country. Would you go? I see everyone saying, nah, hell no. Well, I've had experience with Cassius Stewart that shows that he sold out to the PLP, and before that, he was an F&M candidate after speaking badly about Hubert Ingram for years. You see, running for the F&M don't bother me, because I even was going to go into the F&M and run until I saw what Minnis was into and I pulled out. But if you speak badly about a party and its leader for years, how do you then go joining them? After you've been telling everyone to follow you, attacking the F&M, you went there, tail between your legs. And now after dissing the PLP, you there letting them use you to form a fake party? That's my experience. So just like I would not go to Renard Henfield anything, I chose to not support Cassius Stewart and what he's dealing with. And it's simple as that. Cassius Stewart has to first convince me that he is not a homosexual. One word, Brazil. He has to first show me I am not going to an anti-homosexual rally behind a homosexual. So first, what I want to know is whether Cassius Stewart is one. So, and then when he answers, we can talk about Brazil. I don't mince my words. I did not support Adrian Francis and any of his anti-immigration. Someone says Cassius is a married man. Yes, he is. There are many married men who are homosexuals. Tell me you're not homosexual because you never speak against homosexuals before. All of the issues we had before, Cassius Stewart been in politics and ever saw him speak out against homosexuality before this? When the Vote For bill was coming out, all over TV, speaking out against that, speaking out against Fred Mitchell, etc., speaking out against Tory, the previous transsexual or transvestite, blocked up from being able to be around children. It's a big thing on my radio station. Y'all ever saw Cassius Stewart speak a word against this stuff? Ever? Ever? Have y'all ever seen, so you're telling me that I should have been there to protect the children? Before I get there, I didn't trust going with Cassius Stewart to that thing. I'm being real with you today. We're having a real conversation. Someone says stay focused. I am staying focused. Because we keep getting deceived by the same old political tricks. They keep with this bait and switch, putting fake people in front of you and getting you to go with that, fake issues to distract you and getting you to go with that. And that's what keeps happening. It keeps happening. Now, if I never see you talking about homosexual issues before, why now? with natural resources, I can understand because all of us, none of us knew until, the research really started coming out. We heard some stuff, but we didn't really know. So I understand that, but I never see you talking about that before. Okay? So I didn't trust going out to immigration protests with Adrian Francis because Adrian Francis was helping them get their papers and documents with Brent Simonet, while having y'all up and down in the sun behind him saying he's against the Haitians. But the gentleman was helping them get straight and making money from it. I didn't go behind We March because I knew that it was an F&M ploy. He did not sell out. It was constructed. It was constructed in the F&M. Constructed. It was the plan of the F&M. Pintard formed We March. Pintard did. And Renard Enfield, etc. Let me take this quick commercial break.
And furthermore, I am very disappointed in those Haitian Bahamians who are here, who stand to the plate, who have all the flags ringing all the time. Thousands of them. Why the hell can't they step to the plate now? This is your opportunity, Louis, George, and the rest of the brothers, to be heroes. Stand to the plate. Go down to the defense force, say, take me. Get all your brothers together, say, take me. Let me go back and take my country. Let me become a member of parliament in Haiti. Let me make a contribution instead of sitting on, you know what, in this country, complaining all the time. Get down to the defense force and get out of here. Go help your brothers and sisters.
So
and then let us know what happened when you come back.
I tell you, a whole mouthful. I have nothing more to add or say.
Don't
Take away or say, I tell you.
All right, I just take a little quick commercial break. Sorry about that. Listen, man, we need real this time. We need real this time. All right, we need real. And so, I don't want to be back and forth with this stuff, but like I said, around that time, I happened to be around the F&M, and We March was an F&M construction. All right, come out and fight for the children. Like I said, I haven't seen cashiers come out and fight for anything. Have you come out and fought for your children as it relates to immigration? Any matters? Immigration? Immigration. Let me tell you what's happening. Our children are being replaced and they're losing country. Our children are being forced out and our children are moving to another country being replaced. Our young men are losing their construction jobs and all kinds of jobs. Bahamas is flooded with people from the diaspora. Our children are losing their country. And everyone has their fight. The main reason I didn't see an urgency as it relates to that previous matter was that whole thing was conjured up over a statement by Belinda Wilson. She made a comment on her opinion. Let me tell you what I did. I got on the phone, I called Belinda Wilson, and she said that they're misconstruing what I said. That's not really what I meant. This is what the situation is. After talking to her, I was like, well, why are we having all of this? Like, this is going to go into schools because Belinda Wilson said that. And it didn't seem like an urgent thing to me. Now, what seemed like urgent was all the citizenships being given away, all the work permits being given away, our country being flooded with illegal immigrants, the Prime Minister taking away our sovereign wealth fund and our carbon credits. That seemed like urgency to me. I don't just move on hysteria. And so our immigration situation, we need to fight to protect our children with that as well. And I said to everyone, if a situation where this thing is goes, I could be on the front lines because that ain't happening in my country. But the word of Belinda Wilson wasn't enough for me to say, okay, let's go have a rally. Our children are moving to the US and Canada because we're being replaced. We don't have a country for them. I didn't see these same people sign up for the Sovereign Wealth Fund. or when women were being beaten on Goodman's Bay, standing up for our country. But you're telling me I'm obligated to some rally that was because of words of Belinda Wilson? Seriously? We got to be real, all right? So I'm fighting for children. I used to take single mothers to CDU when they wouldn't take these kinds of issues seriously. I was out there fighting bills for me against the government, and a lot of people were afraid to. We just fought for Bella, what they thought was an impossible battle. We got in, and she was dead already, but we fought to make sure that she got justice in her death, even though she didn't get justice in life. They told us the father couldn't have her because they wasn't married. We said no. Whatever you think the law says, we're going to do something different. So myself and Maria fought. We fought for a kidnapped girl, and I used all my investigative skills to track her down from nothing without a trace. And we tracked her down and returned her to her father. I fought for a disabled child to get him in an appropriate school that was closer to his home. Because sometimes, even though he could hardly see, he has to catch a bus. But they didn't care. We got him straight. I've been fighting for children and young people, including being an angel investor for years, investing in businesses of young people. And so if I decide to make a wrong move and not show up to a rally, don't condemn me for one thing. I've been doing this for a very long time. All right. So I want to get to the topic of this next thing. I saw a picture going around in Wongs. And so what I always do is investigate. 20 years of doing this, and let me tell you what has never happened. No one has been able to sue me for defamation, and no one has been able to arrest me for defamation. Because when I speak about what I know. All right? Or what I have questions about. And I call names. And I give details. Because I don't speak unless I know what I'm talking about. So when I saw the book, I said I want to see it in Wongs first before I respond. I was in Bryland, well, in Eleuthera, and I said, when I get back, I'll look into it. And so while I was there, I started doing my research. I started speaking to teachers and asking them if, in fact, this thing was in school, because I watched the video, and the video didn't say what people were saying. They were saying that they're putting this in the schools, and the video, the interview didn't. Nothing in that interview said that they were putting it in schools. She was saying that they teach them the definitions of these things. They teach them the definition of lesbian or whatever the LGBTQ thing is. They teach them the definitions, and in religion they tell them to love all people. That's what I heard. But I saw some people start to spread out, and mostly I started to notice that it was the PLP trolls pushing this. I said, why would they push that when there is their own government that would be accused of doing this? I was like, something is going on here. You notice it was the PLP trolls pushing that? And they started making it seem, oh, this thing is going in schools. And she didn't say that. And I started to call to see if they were teaching this in the schools. Because some people saying they're teaching in the schools already. And I was like, okay, let me find out. And I spoke to a lot of teachers, dozens of teachers, and all of them said, they don't know what this being taught in the schools. All right. A lot of them are family members who are teachers. And I spoke to others. We have members of the COI who are teachers I spoke to. And none of them know about this thing being taught in the school and being promoted. Like you're telling them that it's okay to be gay and that kind of stuff. That everyone is saying that isn't the case. And so then there was this book And let me tell you, someone will say, don't trust them, they may sneak in. And no, I don't trust them, and they might sneak in. And let me tell you, they will have hell to pay. I will not let them sleep or rest. All right? Now, the book. Did bring in a book. Wongs did. That had LGBTQ information in it. Wongs did bring that in. That's Wongs. I went on my live, as you saw, from the Luther, and I warned them that I was coming. I'm told by staff that they saw that and they took it off the shelf. They didn't want that heat. They didn't want that smoke. That's what some staff told me. They took it off. All right. So when I went there to inspect yesterday, and it is not on the shelf. And staff told me, boy, they took that off. And so they took it off the shelf. Now, does that mean that because it's at Wongs that it was going into government schools? No. Wongs has a lot of books that are not in the schools. All right. Although they do have textbooks. The book, according to administration of the Ministry of Education, the book itself is not on any book list, and the book would have had to have been brought in to the ministry by now if it was going to be a part of the curriculum, which they said that they don't see that there's any LGBT book as a part of the curriculum. All right. Those are books that the school would have to buy. It's different than the textbooks that you buy yourself. All right. And so they said, so far, no. There's going to be an administration meeting for the Ministry of Education on the 14th and 15th. And so they'll see if it's brought up then. But so far, it has not been brought up to any of the administrators or administration. So they don't know what this hysteria is about. All right. Other than it seems like some political thing. And I believe that that's what it is. I believe that that whole thing was brought up as a distraction. Notice it was done, this little questioning at the Office of the Prime Minister's press release. The biggest thing in politics is government, your administration is in trouble. You try to bring up something else for people to talk about. It doesn't matter what it is. Bring up something else for them to talk about. That is political strategy number one. Now, that was brought up, and 150 Bahamians going to Haiti was brought up. Notice what happened? The media isn't talking about Keith Bell anymore. The media isn't talking about Kurt Cornish anymore. It's not the focus like it was before. The strategy. You notice? That is the strategy. So watch who is pushing certain things. Like you see, all of a sudden it's the PLPs was pushing Farmer Kate's voice note. The PLPs was pushing that. They're doing voice notes behind it. They pushing that. Open your eyes. And it's the PLPs who is pushing this book thing. It's going to be in schools. They are pushing that. They're trying to distract you. Stay focused, Bahamas. They are trying to stop the conversations about your natural resources. They're trying to stop the conversations about your treasure. They're trying to stop the conversation about your carbon credits. They even want you talking about BEC and the high bills because they know you'll be talking because people love to talk about sex stuff, so homosexuality stuff, and they know Bahamians love to talk about Haiti and Haitians. So let's bring up this 150 Haitians going to Haiti. And so guess what? They put a caveat on there. They said, we're going to send them if the UN does a resolution. The UN does a resolution for the Bahamas to send 150 people to Haiti. So that's so later they will. We never really was going to send them. No, we said the UN not do a resolution. See, they ain't do the resolution, so they ain't gone. No, they want you all talking about it. You see, I don't let them. When you're a chess player, you don't let the other person control the board. When you are a good basketball team, you have to control the tempo. Don't let the government change your conversations. And they're doing it with stuff that is good to talk about. Because it would be irresponsible to not go out and save the children, man. Your children, because of the immigration crisis, are already being pushed into America and Canada, the place where this stuff is coming from. And you don't think that we should be fighting to save this from our immigration crisis? Trying to save this and make sure that we benefit from our natural resources so our children don't have to move out of here? Your children are being pushed to America. They're being pushed to Canada. You standing up saying, oh, America is trying to, you're standing up at a rally saying America is trying to force this stuff on us. They're trying to force this mindset on us. Where your children going to school? Because you don't have good education here. Where are your children staying after they finish school? We got to fix this for us so we don't have to mix with them. Let's save our children the right way by fixing our country. Because if we find out that our carbon credits for seagrass alone is worth $156 billion a year, $50 billion in storage alone, and you talking about sissies? While the Prime Minister taking that for himself and telling y'all he ain't giving y'all none of it, he is only going to reduce taxes eventually. And you want me to come out there to talk about sissies? Y'all better wake up. You negotiate from a position of strength. That's why we had so much weak leaders and they're controlled. No one is forcing them to do anything, you know. We're still not a part of WTO, you know. You don't force us. They're not forcing you. They're just offering the bribes. Qatar is in the WTO. WTO had a problem with the way they empower their people. You got to be 51% Qatari to have, and they have certain laws that benefit Qataris, right? And so they met with Qatar, and they said, you got to change your laws. Qatar said, no. Our laws will always benefit our people. We always put our people first. This is all I want to do. Just put our people first. And so they said, well, okay. WTO said, well, we're going to change on you because you signed the treaties. They said, listen, that's a lot of paperwork and stress. What we'll do is turn our natural gas mines and our oil mines. Don't worry about it. Be good. We've made every one of our citizens a millionaire. We own 1% of all the shares in every company in the world. 1% of all the shares in the world is owned by Qatar. That's often well found. And we own more land than the Queen, including in England. And so, well, the King now. At the time it was the Queen. And so, listen, you don't want to give them no stress. We'll shut the oil down. Don't worry about us. You ain't got to sanction us. And WTO said, hey, hold on, wait, now you're being a little rash because they need our oil. I mean, the natural gas. You're being a little rash. Hold on now. What we'll do is we'll come back in 5 years and we'll have another discussion to see where we can go with this. Qatar had the World Cup. And they announced anyone fly that flag is going to jail for 10 years. Did you see any protests against them? Did you see the UN speak out against them? Did you see any sanctions against them? This boogeyman, they're trying to make you all think they're to force them to do anything. There's no boogeyman forcing them. Oh, they don't want capital punishment in America. That's capital punishment every day. No, they are taking bribes under the table, making themselves rich, and then just doing what they're told. But we need a new leader who don't take bribes, who's been tried and tested. Every time I fought for Bahamian people, they tried to bribe me. And I told them no. When they see all the victims of the people in Pinewood houses is breaking down to many other situations, they tried to bribe me. I never sell out. I don't sell out. This PLP administration has tried to bribe me. I told them no. And I called their names when I told you all who me. And you notice they ain't questioned me. If it wasn't true, don't you think they would have said, no, that he's lying. That is not true. I didn't talk about him about any such thing. They tried to bribe me with money and position. I told them no. Give the Bahamian people what belongs to them. And so we got to stop with the distractions, all right? That's what this whole thing is about. Distraction. All right? And so what were they distracting you for? What was all this kick and all this stuff for? It was because they were passing a bill. And they changed the name from the Gender Equality Bill to the Protection Against Violence Bill. Now, why did they change that name? Because anything with gender is going to cause Bahamians to wake up and say, hold on, what's this y'all trying to pass? And then people are going to look in the bill and see what's happening. So these slick PLPs who are always trying to put one over y'all, they got y'all this time because y'all was distracted. Talking about homosexuals. While they was passing a bill for the homosexuals. Y'all ready to see this? Because y'all might want to see what's in this bill. Ready to see this? They distract y'all talking about the 150 Haitians and talking about this thing going into schools while they was passing a bill that changes everything. Watch this. This bill was not about the protection of women. This bill actually introduces marital rape. Protection against violence. They can't do a bill and call it marital rape. So they just do it. They boil a frog. You just sneak it in there. They just introduced marital rape while the whole church was sleeping and taking bribes and celebrating. Oh, it's 50 years. Y'all let's jump up and down and celebrate. You know what? Let's get them to talk about immigration and let's make something happen in the schools. Distract them. Make them row about it. And it's important. Let's pull up the bill. See, this is why they keep us as a D average, and they keep us as a D average and keep us dumb so they can abuse us and control us. And they'll get us to argue with silly things like we're arguing with this whole thing of, oh, Lincoln should have been out there. Lincoln should have been out there. Stand up for the children. And this is how we get swing every single time. Now y'all come with me on this journey into the world of the LGBTQ. Because every time that man right there, who's in the background, see him right there? Every time he get in power, this kind of stuff happens. Crafty. So let's go. Let me pull this up, y'all. You see 7 people have scanned the QR code. Thank you so much. Okay. This is the new bill. This is the Protection Against Violence Bill. So they changed it from the Gender Equality Bill because that gender word would have caused you to pay attention. Okay? And this is what they came up with. So we're going to go through this, right? We're going to start with the definitions. That's the first place you always go. Now, what I want you to notice, I want you to look and see if you see the word gender in here, because I had a conversation with this fellow who thinks he's smarter than everybody and likes to talk condescendingly to Bahamians, Shivago Lang, on his show. He likes to talk down to Bahamian, and he believes his way is always right. I had a conversation with him, and I told him what gender means. I said, gender has a meaning under international law. All right? Under international law, it has a meaning, and it has to do with your identity. It has nothing to do with male and female. This bill is not to protect women. This bill is about something. So look, see, it's in alphabetical order. Look at the definitions. Well, we'll start from here. Domestic relationships. Oh, look at this. Make this big, big, big for y'all so y'all can see this good. Definition now in this new bill of domestic relationship. Here we go. Domestic relationship means a relationship between one or more persons. Now let's pause right there. One or more. How could you have a relationship between one or more persons? You gotta explain that to me. This relationship between one person or more than one or two or three or four. What are y'all saying? Let's continue. One or more persons who A, are or were married to each other under any law, custom, or religion. Are or were married under any law. Okay. So that'll be the law. Custom. What you mean by custom? What do you mean by custom? Okay. Next, B. They cohabit together, live together. Okay. Are engaging or in an actual or perceived romantic, intimate, cordial, or sexual relationship of any duration. Okay. Are parents of a child or are expecting a child together, or are foster parents to a child. They are family members, this E, related by consanguinity, which means by blood or DNA, etc. So that means blood relative. Affinity means by law, and under marital law, that means by marriage. So like through marriage, you're related. Or adoption, all right, which would be someone outside of blood or marriage. F, are living together as spouses, although they are not married. G, share or share the same household. H, are co-tenants. I, is a house help to the household of the other. J, lives in or attends a public or private care institution and is under the care or control of that person, the other person. K, is in a relationship as determined by the court to be a domestic relationship. Okay. You need to figure out what that means. Now, so all of these things are now come under domestic relationship. Just hold that right there. Keep it pinned right there. Let's keep going. Now, there's a thing called economic and financial abuse. So you can now be punished for financially or economically abusing any of those persons that were listed there. Right? A, any unreasonable deprivation of economic or financial resources to which a victim or a family member or dependent of a victim is entitled under any law, or requires out of necessity, or has a reasonable expectation of use, and such resources include any of the following. So victim. Including any further. If you neglect them when it comes to household necessities, medical expenses, school fees, mortgage repayments, or rent payments in respect of a shared household, it's now financial abuse. You got a new thing. So you not paying their rent, that's abuse now. You're not paying the school fees, that's abuse now. You're not paying the medical expenses, that's abuse. Any household necessity, you didn't buy the cleaning products, the bleach, that's now abuse. That's violence. B, denying a person the right to seek employment or to engage in an income-generating activity. C, unreasonably depriving a victim or a family member or dependent of a victim of property in which the victim's family member or dependent has an interest or a reasonable expectation of use. Unreasonably disposing of or intentionally destroying or damaging property referred to in the property, and engaging in the pattern of behavior, the kind and purpose of which is to exercise coercive control over or exploit or limit a person's access to financial resources so as to ensure financial dependence. So if you do anything to make them dependent on you, that's now abuse. That means a person who has committed an act of violence against another. Violence. Violence. Let's keep going. Let's go. I'm going to skip over. Notice we ain't see gender yet, right? You see gender anywhere in here? Let's keep going. They didn't define it, but I'll show you where they snuck it in. Because they just refer to the international laws. They say whatever is the law in the treaties and international law, that's what we're going by. Chicago line. And we'll get to that. Sexual abuse means any act or behavior of an intimate nature forced upon a person without their consent and may include a sexual offense specified under Sexual Offences Act. Now, hold on now. Sexual abuse under this new act means an act or behavior of an intimate nature forced upon a person without their consent. But hold on now. Let me see who these persons are. We got to go back up. Because they including married persons. Remember the definitions? Hold on. Domestic relationship, which is what this act refers to. If you are married, if you are or were married, so that means if you do one of that thing, if you are or were married, not an issue. Anyone see it? So now, the sexual abuse, and I can read more, there's more to it, includes person. So if you roll over, see, because if you're walking in the street and someone come up to you and grope you, grab your breast or your buttocks, that's a sexual assault. But now, based on the vague way that this law is defined, if you are married or were married to someone and you do that now, or living together as spouse, even though you're not spouse, and you do that now, that's sexual abuse. You see how they snuck that in there? Let me go back to sexual abuse and let you see it again. Sexual abuse means an act or behavior of an intimate nature forced upon a person without their consent. and may include, so you don't have to include, a sexual offense as specified under the Sexual Offences Act. I hope you all see that for your life. Sexual harassment means act of behavior of making unwelcome or inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances. Let's keep going. Victim means a person against whom an act of violence has been or is being committed. It's a victim. What was violence? There it is. Violence means violence of any sort that results in physical, sexual, or psychological violence, including rape, sexual abuse, they didn't define it, torture, trafficking in persons, forced prostitution, kidnapping, sexual harassment, online harassment, or economic or financial abuse. Not paying your wife's rent now is considered violence. Not the mortgage is violence. That ain't neglect no more. That's violence. Y'all paying attention? Y'all see why they was distracting y'all with this stuff? If it occurs in a domestic relationship, whether or not the offenders share the same household, is perpetrated by a person rather than. So if you're in a domestic relationship and you do violence, then you're in contravention. Remember the domestic relationship what we saw before? That included if you are married or were married. That includes living together, which by extension would include, because it says, let me go back to this to show you what I should have showed you from the beginning. Domestic relationship means a relationship between one or more persons. It doesn't say male and female, man and woman. It could be man and man, woman and woman. Any persons cohabiting together. They made this vague so they could include everything. Are you paying attention? And so financial, all of these stuff is now called violence. Violence. See that? A court shall, in determining whether a person is in a domestic relationship, have regard to the place where the person's time is ordinarily spent. So even if that's your girlfriend, but she ain't really live with you, she got her own place, but she just be by you a lot, that's your wife. Well, you're in a domestic relationship. The manner in which the person's time is spent and the duration of the relationship, they could take any of these things into consideration. Serious. They're sneaking this stuff in. They're sneaking all of this stuff in. There's more. I'll get to more in a second. They're sneaking all of this stuff in, and they know y'all would have gone through this with a fine-tooth comb. Maybe the Christian Council might have said something. They don't know. They couldn't take that risk. But they knew that we was going to fight them. And so after they did that, they went into all this stuff about forming boards and all that kind of stuff, and then they came back to the sweet stuff um, afterwards in part 4. And I'm going to show you some stuff in part 4. All right, so I'll stay focused. Let me see. Just want to pull it for y'all. I can show you how crazy this whole thing is. All right. Let me pull this back up for y'all. Okay, let's go. So now they telling you what cohabitation is. Domestic relationship. The general rights of victims of a violent person, all right? Right to be treated with compassion and dignity, right to be informed, right to confidentiality. And let me tell you what else they just did. This is section 20. They are now protecting. I understand protecting the victim, but they are protecting the perpetrator. Persons who provide any type of care or service to a victim, the member of the commission, a member of the commission, or a member of the police force, responsibility for conducting investigation, all right? Or a person acting on behalf of a person, right? Shall ensure the confidentiality is maintained with respect to the identity of the victim, the alleged offender, and potential witnesses. So you have to ensure confidentiality, secrecy of the victim, because before it was the victim. So you couldn't expose a rape victim, all right, or a child who was a victim. Now they're adding the alleged offender. So let's say Kirk Cornish, I know he's a good, decent Christian man, do something like that, according to PLP. Let's say Kirk Cornish goes and abuses another girlfriend. You can't call his name next time. They making sure that if a politician ever does something out of the way again, you can't touch them. You can't, so not you can't touch them. You can't say their names. You can't call their names. They can keep it secret. This is what they just snuck in there. You can't expose the alleged offender. I understand victims, I understand witnesses, but the alleged offender and the person who contravenes that commits an offense and is liable on summary conviction to a fine not exceeding $5,000 or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 1 year or to both. You go to jail for a year and pay $5,000. Right to privacy. A person shall not publish any report of an investigation under this act other than criminal proceedings, except with the leave of the court. Where a person reports proceedings under Section 1, and Section 1, that means this, the person shall protect the identity of the complainant, the alleged offender, and any witness. So when they report it now, they have to keep the offender secret. Did you all agree to the Bahamas? To keep these perpetrators secret? And the person who contravenes, any of them, again, is $5,000 or a year in jail. Serious offense. That is unconscionable. Now, when they make a complaint, there's a procedure for making a complaint. 23. I'll just hold on for 1 second. We are, again, I have to pause for a second while I plug in. I'm sorry.
And furthermore, I am very disappointed in those Haitian Bahamians who are here, who stand to the plate, who have all the flags ringing all the time.
So
Thousands of them. Why the hell can't they step to the plate now? This is your opportunity, Luby, George, and the rest of the brothers, to be heroes. Stand to the plate. Go down to the defense force. Get all your brothers together. Say, take me. Let me go back and take my country. Let me become a member of parliament.
I don't know why they even bring Leslie Miller on on TV. He's the least credible person in the country, but all right, let's get back to work. All right, y'all stay focused. Y'all, let's get back to work. All right. Okay, I think we lost it. Let me pull that back up. Let's get back to work. I want y'all to see this. Procedure. Okay. Procedure for making a complaint. Any person who is a victim, as defined under this act, or has information about a victim of violence, may lodge a complaint in person to the police. All right. So anyone may make a police. And this is what the police must do. They must prepare a written statement giving the following details. Details surrounding the alleged act, the age and gender. Oh, gender. They didn't say sex. Gender of the complainant. So, not the age and sex, the age and gender. That's interesting. We come back to that because this is the first time gender is mentioned in this act, where the police must say your age and gender. Gender is not your sex, it's what you identify as. I'm going to show you that in a second. All right? All right? And so, the age and gender, again, you see in section 34? This is the data they must give now. All right, the age and gender. Now, let me go to 26. Procedure where complaint constitutes a criminal offense. So, procedure where complaint constitutes a criminal offense. So, you could have a complaint that doesn't constitute a criminal offense. Saying if it constitutes a criminal offense, this is what you do. You see how weird this is getting? It says, where at the conclusion of an investigation, the police officer is satisfied that the complaint made under Section 23 constitutes a criminal offense under these acts, the Penal Code, the Sex Offenders Act, Domestic Violence Act, the Protection of Child Act, trafficking in persons with disabilities under any law. The offense shall be tried and otherwise dealt with in according to such law. So if we already have laws for this, what is this act really about? Do y'all understand that? Huh? Are y'all really paying attention? As I said, when I was on, when I called in the Chicago Line show and they hung up on me, that's what Chicago Line did, they hung up on me. There's already laws protecting you from violence in the Penal Code. There's already laws protecting you from sexual offenses. There's already laws protecting you from domestic violence. There's already a Domestic Violence Protections Order Act. So what is this about? There's already a Child Protection Act. There's already a Trafficking in Persons Act. And they say, okay, those laws already exist, so you just go under those laws. That means that this is not about protecting you from violence. This was about adding other things, an inclusion of other things, and changing some definitions, sneaking some definitions into the law. And the whole church sat down, and guess what? They will continue to. Because this ain't gonna make the news. Now I'm gonna go to 33. Interpretation. In this part, close cases of death, violence related death, relative. So who's your relative? Your relative? These are your relatives. father, mother, grandfather, grandmother. So all these regular stuff that you know about, half brother, uncle, uncle-in-law, auntie, auntie-in-law, all this kind of stuff, nephew, cousin. But they wanted to add this piece up. The spouse or other person who was in a domestic relationship with the deceased person. So your relative now, remember I told you about same-sex union? Your relative now is your spouse or other person, don't say of the opposite sex, or other person who was in a domestic relationship with the deceased person. So now, if cohabitating, remember who they call domestic relationship? If you were living with another man, that's your relative. You see how they snuck these things in here? And they keep doing this to us because we get so easily distracted. Y'all bring up something y'all know they can row about, and man, they could be all about trying to talk, but they could protest. And in the meantime, we could pass this bill. I hope we have some intelligent people who are able to grasp some of what I just said. Because this is serious. I go open the phone lines. I did one long one today. Sorry, because I started out talking about all that other stuff. I go open the phone lines for y'all while I continue. You can talk, ask any questions. 803-5995. You have to WhatsApp call. I know some of y'all like calling on regular line. I don't line no more. They listening. 803-5995. Let's talk. 803-5995. So now you got a marital rape has started. Because you see what they said what violence is? It includes rape, etc., etc. And is if you were married to or were married to the person, you see how they snuck that in there? While you was talking about who should come to the rally, to the gay rally, they snuck that right in there. Every time y'all let Fred Mitchell get in that house. Call 803-5995. Let me make sure I got volume on this. Come, y'all talk to me. Look at y'all in shock. Talk to me. 803-5995. 803-5995. They just changed the game on y'all. Brave Davis them and Fred Mitchell just swing y'all again. They bunch of stuff out there. Lincoln me in this, Lincoln me in that, Lincoln me in that. Oh, let's make them a rally. Because notice it was them pushing the rally. Y'all had him saying a bad word about Cassius, and he pushing a rally about stuff he saying they was doing. Y'all see them attacking him? Why you think they ain't attacking him? He's pushing a rally saying the government trying to put this thing in the schools. But not one troll attacked him. And not one said, don't go to the rally. Y'all wake up yet? Let's go to the phone lines. Good evening, you're live.
Hi, Mr. Lincoln Bain. I think you just put the Bahamas or all the Bahamians who are listening to you tonight in a coma. Because I'm really trying to digest this because this is new news to us. I'm trying to figure out, can they pass this law again? Because, you know, they did this with the natural
That just went through
resources.
that just went through the Senate at the end of this week. That went in the House last week.
Okay,
It's the bill where the women's groups were telling the government that this is very inadequate. This ain't really dealing with the stuff they wanted to deal with, you know, and they were all up in arms about this.
Okay,
Yeah.
I recall the women speaking up.
But that's because this wasn't about that. This was about sneaking some other stuff in there.
We see what it's about. You just read it, and now we see what it's about. I'm trying to figure out why go to this extreme when we have laws in the books that they're not adhering to concerning our rights as Bahamians. We have laws in the book. You had us go through the Constitution. You had us go through penal codes. You had us go through all kind of laws. So we know we have laws on the books to protect persons. Forget that gender thing, because I don't even know what that's all about. Persons who need help. Crime is crime. It doesn't matter if the person is gay or not, a sinner or not, a saint, or old woman, a child. Any offenses against any of those persons, once they report it, is a crime. So I'm trying to figure out why go to this extreme.
Because this wasn't about protection against violence. The laws already exist to protect you against violence. No one in the they already had the Domestic Violence Act and all. None of this was about that. Remember when the referendum and they had the 4 questions, the first 3 questions, I came and I told everyone they don't need to go to referendum for them. They could just go in the House and pass them. Say, oh, don't listen to Lincoln. I said, this is about bill number 4, which is going to now allow gay marriage and introduce this homosexuality into our culture. And the church did stand up on that one. But Brave Davis then realized that if they called this the gender equality bill, everyone was going to start reading through it and paying attention.
Okay, they know we are against this gay flag that went up a month ago, I think it was, or 2 months ago.
Yes.
Now, I understand you're on U.S. soil, but you are in the Bahamas, this country. Regardless of these diplomatic little rulings and stuff, that's our country. Why wasn't they allow that flag to stay up that long? And then they said they were going to have some rally 20 days in. Like that don't make no sense. Why would stop with that flag? I mean, most people won't say it. It's a symbol. It's a symbolic appearance of having a flag, a gay flag with all the rainbow colors next to the U.S. When we are going to allow this? When we allow that? And then say you having a rally 20 days later. But no, you won't deal with the flag. You won't carry it on.
Yeah.
So
this
now
is true.
We have this issue on top of all the other issues.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
maybe this can make sense. So you say this is now passed in the House?
It's now passed in the House and the Senate. Is now going to the Governor General to be signed.
All right. Well, Bahamian people are
And
here
the whole Bahamas fell asleep and let them sneak that in. And again, like I said to you, whole rally that was against the actions of the government. And not one troll was attacking Cassius then. Because that was the plan to distract you.
This is my part. The part is the Governor General office. Bahamians need to be out there. You need to call this urgent. This ain't no play. That's all I want to say on that. Because this is now the Bahamians in coma who's not even aware of this bill. Never saw it, never read it.
Yep. While we were talking about book in school that was never going into school. While we were talking about adding something to the curriculum that was never going to be added to the curriculum.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
My friend, what is his name? Farmer Cates always talk about circumvention and misdirection. And he didn't realize that's what they were doing to us again. Thank you. 8035995. I saw some of y'all trying to call in. 8035995. 8035995. That is the number to call in. Circumvention, misdirection. You have a lot of Bahamians who pretend to be smart, but they don't see the tricks of the politicians. And I committed myself to always telling you when there's tricks in your life.
Thank you, man.
How you doing?
I am all right. I am not surprised at what you're saying. And if you get a chance to listen to my little voicemail to you, I was telling you instead of seeing the peer trip no trolls. We got 2.5 years to 2 years to go before the COI and our members get to realize anything substantial. 2 years or more, so they can send out trolls, and some of these trolls gotta be persons that are focused right around you in your house, and that's what happened today. And I sent you a message saying, Lincoln, you got to stay strong, and we have to stay focused on the road ahead, because that is exactly what they can do. They control distractions at every angle. I was not surprised, because I learned some of the COI members that this 150, they already tried that before. The UN has already passed a resolution with America and Canada. Them. It's just that none of them want to take the lead. You understand? So I don't know what resolution they waiting for. They said 150 members. You understand? But that is exactly what they was doing. Throwing out distractions to get it off, keep belling them. But the stuff that you read today is almost to me just like the Nationality Act, because I heard a lot of stuff in there that contravenes the Constitution of the Bahamas.
Yeah.
You understand? A lot of stuff in there. So if I was us, I wouldn't be too much worried about that. Because any lawyer would wait they saw could get most of that stuff thrown. And that's my contribution for the day.
Thank you, man. I'll take another call. Hello? Okay. 8035995, 8035995. 8035995 is the number. 8035995. Call us in. What do you think about all this stuff that you've seen? I think it's just incredulous that we always get outsmarted by these same people. Always get outsmarted by these same politicians. Every election, we get swing. Every time, we get swing. Every time. And it's like, as a people, we just don't learn. And they're going to continue to make you focus on me. Oh, Lincoln is a bad guy. Focus on him. You know, look at him. He has a civil case. I mean, I don't know what Bahamians are going to do. But if we don't do something, we could be in trouble. And we got 3 more years of this. All right? 3 more years of this. I want to, while I'm still on this, you know, I saw someone told me about a Facebook post. They told me about a Facebook post where they were saying that I need more men behind me. And yeah, this was the cry from Finland and was out, the original PLP. It seems like women are always willing to fight for a country because they want a country for their children. Men worry about today. It seems like they don't care. They can care less about the future. They worry about right now. Very good. Distracted with something just now. Yeah, so there was a post saying that, you know, that we need more men, etc., and all this kind of stuff. And I just want you to know that change never comes until the women come out. That's the first thing, right? It never comes. And I want you to understand that there are hundreds and hundreds of strong men that support the COI. In fact, every time I've been arrested with some strong men that I'm very proud of. Trying to push this narrative that Lincoln, what they're saying, Lincoln pushes intelligent men or strong men away. And I do not. I encourage leaders. I've been doing that for a long time. I'm the king of delegation. There's never been a male that I've pushed from this organization, and even people who have said things about me that were wrong publicly, who have attacked me, I've done nothing but show them love. And so I just wanted to make that clear. To Mr. Cates and others who said that I should have been at that rally. Let me take this call first, and then I'll get there. Good evening. Good evening, you're live. Good evening, you're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Oh, yeah. Hi. Lincoln, how you doing? Good evening.
Awesome.
I have a question based on something that happened just recent, a recent government decision, you know? I saw a post in a well-known group a few months ago. I don't know if it was done in jest. I think it was, where the person was asking for a contingent of Bahamians to go down to Haiti, and you know, the post said, you know, you'll have to pay your own way, but we'll provide food for you. But we're going to Haiti, and we're going to take up land the same way they do it here in the Bahamas, and we're going to show them what squatting looks like from our perspective. So after that post was put up, I mean, not one, not two, not five, but dozens of Haitians came under the post, and they were like, if y'all bad, y'all come here and we will kill all of you. Now,
yep.
I mean, even if the post was done in jest, the responses that we got opened a lot of people's eyes. So it's saying we could do it, you all could do it to us. They could do it to us, but we can't do it back to them because they would kill, and they were not joking. Men and women, and I don't mean the ones who are here now. I'm talking about the ones who are in that group but live in Haiti. They were like, if you come here, we will kill all of you. But my question is, I don't know. I understand that Haiti needs help, and you know, the Prime Minister sent a group of, I think, Defense Force officers down there to help them. But how would your administration deal with that particular situation? Like, I don't know exactly what they went there for. So I still am not sure what they sent them down there for. I know Haiti has been going something, but what could our government do?
The 150 has not been sent. Yes, the 150.
It sounds like it's a little sketchy in terms of the people, you know, their level of violence and stuff like that, because those responses opened my eyes.
Well, firstly, to what you said about that comment, it is unlawful for any foreigner or Haitian living abroad to own property in Haiti. They have laws to protect their land. Your country is your land. If you allow another country or outsiders to buy up all of your land, you have no country. Think about that. And so that's why every country has laws in place to protect their land. All right? And especially small countries. And so if we keep letting foreigners buy up all our land, eventually we won't have a country. That's why we had the Immovable Properties Act. Haiti has law to protect their land. So they have the law on their side, 1. 2, they will not let you come and squat on their land. They will kill you. All right? They will kill you. But Bahamians, We need to stand up. That's all I can say. All right. Now, what can we do as a government? Listen, the solution for Haiti has to come from Haiti. America, France, the UN has not been able to help Haiti. There's a culture in Haiti that allows for what is happening there now. All right, it's organized chaos. You all don't understand it, but they understand exactly what's going on. It's the gang culture that controls their politics. Gangs first come in, control territory, and then you vote for how the gang that's controlling your territory tells you to vote. That's how their elections go. I lived there. I was there through a lot of what they went through. When Mattelli won, when Mattelli lost, I know what is going on there. I understand that maybe God sent me ahead into that wilderness so that I could lead our country in the right direction. There's nothing that Brave Davis or 150,000 Bahamians could do to change Haiti. America isn't doing that. Canada isn't doing it. France isn't doing it. You cannot, a person who's willing to kill themselves, you could never hurt them. There's nothing you could do to change them. They're willing to die, even if their thoughts are stupid. They're not going to let you come in and tell them what to do. And so all we need to do is protect our borders from them and let them get themselves together. Once the gangs start to get in control in certain places, they have election because that's their culture. We have a similar culture, but it's not as violent. Our politicians go into the neighborhoods and they put money on the street with the gang boys, the street boys, and they say go in the streets and get the influence, take that money on the ground. But that's not a violent way that we do it, but it's a similar thinking. And so the only thing we could do is stay out of their business and protect our borders, close our airports from them, because they're using it now as an opportunity. When they realize that they can now use this as an excuse to be let into America and stay there for several years, that's what America did, open their borders to them. They can come to the Bahamas, and then some Bahamians are going to say, oh, let them in. There's a crisis there. Let them in. It's being used as an excuse for drug trafficking, money laundering, and arms dealing. All right? That's an opportunity. Yeah. So those same persons are now having the money through their illegal activity to buy a property in the Bahamas. They ain't just squatting no more. They buying up property in Abaco. They buying up property in New Providence. They buying up property in Andres. The criminal gangs. And they bragging about it and talking about how they run the different islands. Y'all better wake up. Thank you for your call. This is serious, y'all. There's nothing to play with. They're now using that chaos as an excuse to continue their criminal activity. You see what happened in Turks and Caicos? They didn't take the place over. That's the criminal gangs. That's what's headed towards us. You saw us in Harbor Island. They was walking in the streets. They was in the streets with guns. But one person in the street with a gun. Good afternoon, you're live.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Bain. Good evening, Bahamas.
Good evening.
Mr. Bain, this fight is going to be a fight that the Bahamian people have never ever seen before. I don't remember the Bahamian people or the Bahamian government ever sitting down to a table of agreement with Haiti. Because if that had happened, then what I can say is the agreement was very, very unfair. I don't see where Bahamians are allowed to go into Haiti and possess land, but they're doing it over here. And because we have now decided to stand up against this and not allow it, all of a sudden they wanna say things about the Bahamian people that is not true. That's a spirit of deception. Okay, and it's not right. And I blame our former leaders and our current leaders. Okay, they have allowed the enemy to come in. And this is not only just about Haitians. This is about all foreigners coming into this country and taking advantage of the Bahamian people. Our leaders have left us vulnerable. Okay, we cannot even sit at the world table. to bargain for our future generations to come. We can't even sit there from a seat of power. They always go from a place of weakness.
Yeah.
And we continue to praise these leaders who has placed us in captivity and who has placed us in the belly of the beast. And if Hubert Ingram is listening to this, he does not deserve to be honored. Bahamians need to let go of the old, because it's the old that got us in this situation that we are in now. These men are not honorable and they do not deserve to be praised. They are the reason that the young generation have to stand up and fight for a generation to survive. They are the reason. And yet we still prance around praising these people who submitted our country to demoralization, corruption. We should be making deals and putting our people first. Every time we make a deal, it should be, well, what is my people going to benefit from? I don't care if my people is PLP, FNF, DNA, COI. I don't care. We are all walking around with Bahamian passports. And so Bahamians should be placed first in this country, not a political leader or an MP and their family, friends, and lovers. It is time Bahamians demand the respect that they need as tax-paying citizens in this country and stand up. Lincoln, what I want to say, I cannot say online. But let me tell you something. These people need to be dragged out of the House of Assembly and condemned, because the things they have done, generations on top of generations are going to suffer and pay for it. So it's a crime against generations unborn. It's a crime. We need to get serious about the business in our country. And I'm sending a message out to our men. Please take a rightful stand in your country as kings. This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This needs to be led by men. And I applaud the women, our strong Black women. I have been standing next to some women who have been going through hell in their personal lives, but they always show up and stand up. So I thank the women for standing up in this country. And we are going to continue waiting for our men to stand. We have men standing, but it's not enough. Bahamians continue to march. We need to march on to a new Bahama land. Whatever that march is to you, it's time for us to march on to a new Bahama land. We have to be willing to let go of the old so we can walk into the new. Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Thank you, too. Wow. That was definitely powerful. That was powerful. That was powerful. Just wanted to plug in a couple things. You know, have these people. I just wanted you to know that I was at that rally.
The only flag we fly
I playing that
flag of the Bahamas, the flag of righteousness. We're not going to fly a flag that disgraced God, that shows the insult of God. We are a Christian nation, and that means, and in case they didn't tell you when you came to immigration, God will.
And so after every speaker, there was a video. Hold on. Good afternoon. You're live.
Hey, President Bean, something very important.
Go ahead.
I forget to tell you and the Bahamian people something very important. Being an ex-military man in the United States Air Force, the reason why 150 members of the Bahamian contingent, well, we know they just bouncing around for fair purposes, but in the event that materialized, I think Philip Brave Davis and the Bahamian government has jumped the gun. The reason why like I said, the resolution has already been agreed upon in the United Nations to send in a force, right? Force, multinational force. But the Americans and the Canadians and them don't want to be the first one to take a step. And the reason for that, Bahamian people and President Bean, is because the mistake that the Americans made in Mogadishu and the mistake that the Russians made in Afghanistan was they went in there with a force wearing uniforms, and the force that they were fighting had no uniforms. So they could not tell who was civilian from who was a friend or foe.
Yeah.
And that is the situation in Haiti. If they go to Haiti and the Bahamian men are wearing uniforms, they will be easily identified as aggressors, and they wouldn't know which one of them nation, man, woman, or child, they got to shoot at. That's the problem. What Brave Davis is faced with. Thanks for taking my call again.
Yeah, that is a reality, and you have to remember they're saying nonsense that they're going in there to train, not to fight. They're going there to train them and do some support or whatever. You can't train the Haitian military. You have no idea what they're up against. That is nonsense. Then people fight in mountains and in city situations. We don't have city situations like them. All right, so we can't train them. They fight in the mountains where the air is thin. You're going to get tired. You're going to run out of breath. They will not. Just want you to see that. So I was just playing that video to show you that I was in my black truck. You could see the truck in there. And I was at that rally for a person who said that, but I was not there to support what was going on. I was there to receive information and see for myself so no one else could tell me. I was there to see for myself that was about a person who was constantly on the screen between every speaker, and their name was on the screen behind every speaker. All right. And so that whole thing was a pure distraction. Me, like I said, I was it's my truck at the bottom of the picture. I was at the back of it, and I have some other pictures which showed Cash's name on the screen constantly while everyone is speaking. So you're basically promoting a person that wasn't promoting or fighting for the people. Now, for that person who posted talking about the men, I just want you to know that one, this is our Grand Bahama men's branch. It's just a branch. You see all the men. It's just a branch. 103 in our branch. That's more than the PLP and F&M men's branch. It's just Grand Bahama. The New Providence men's branch of the COI has 153. That's just a branch. That ain't all the men in our organization, because a lot of them aren't in it. Just so you could have a youth branch in the F&M, but all the youths who would be voting, who between 18 and 30, they're not going to be interested in being actively in the branch. That's our active men who are in the branch. 153 in Nassau, and we have a men's branch in Grand Bahama, which is 103 persons. All right. So for those persons who think that men put that post up there about I run men, listen, no. There are men who are serious, and there are men who are behind this. Yeah, I'm in the front taking the bullets, taking all the attacks, while our people in the background doing all the damage. If this was a one-man band, you think we could have accomplished what we've been accomplishing? This ain't a one-man band. This ain't no 200 or 300 man band. This is a monster that y'all are going to see when it's time for the next election. All right? And so we release our candidates. Sorry, not our candidates, our shadow ministers. We have 3 men and 3 women. It's a problem. We had our hosts of our rally, that a man and a woman. I was escorted to the stage by many, many men. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. And again, we call for more and more men to come forward and take up the baton. But y'all are going to see. Y'all terrified us. Terrified. And so even persons would bring up KCX. There was no issue between me and KCX. KCX was disappointed more at the Bahamian people. There was a time when the people who were part of his movement moved over to the COI, and he was angry at me for that. And I told him it's nothing to do with me. I didn't tell him to come. I had no conversation with them. And if Gatekeeper and other persons are on here, they could say that. And Tanya and other persons who were heading up that organization, he fell out with me for that. He was angry. But I told him, I can't tell these people what to do. I can't tell them go back to you if they don't want to. That's not my business. And that's why he was upset with me. All right. I did nothing wrong to him. And even after that, I showed him love, man to man. And I wanted to remind you of that because he went on radio, not radio, TV, and he said Lincoln Bain is a snake. he felt like I got those persons to leave his organization and come with mine. I didn't. I didn't. They just did that. So I'm going to play this last video for you. I had a good time with y'all today. I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to end. It's like 10 minutes. All right. See this troll on here, Desmond B. Williams. Notice I don't block him. I let him talk. See, the PLP has a lot of homosexual persons in their party, and they like to troll men. So just got to let them. He's trying to cut up with me, but I don't do the Fred Mitchell thing. Ladies and gentlemen, after KCX said what he had to say, did what he had to do, this is the conversation I had with him. We came on the live, and I let him talk. This is it. This is what men do. We talk it over. Relates to KCX, the truth about KCX, the man been trying. He been fighting. He's going through stuff. He has his health that he needs to focus on. He has to deal with. And I will tell you from my standpoint, as far as I'm concerned, he's a legendary Bahamian. I don't have anything negative to say about him. And that's it. So I'm actually going to get KCX on the phone right now. He asked me to call him during this broadcast. So I'm literally going to call him during this broadcast and give him a chance to say what he has to say. And then we go from there. Let me see. Let's get him on the phone, see if we get him. Put him on speaker.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, bro, how you doing? You live?
Hey, what's up, man?
All right, I'm awesome, man. I'm awesome. I hope everyone can hear you. I just wanted to. I don't know if you were watching us live just now, and were you watching? Okay.
Trying to detox,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know you don't need to deal with any negative stuff right now. I basically let the Bahamian people know that, as far as I know, you have not joined the Progressive Liberal Party. Is that so?
Man, as hard as I fought against the PLP and the FNM, and they can tell you that. I sat on O.B. Wilscombe's show, and O.B. Wilscombe said, man, you gave us hell. And the thing about it, you gave the FNM hell, and now you're giving the FNM hell again. You practically stopped WTO by yourself. You are relentless. Lincoln, I want to get rid of these parties so bad. I can taste it. This is the opportunity to get rid of them. But when you see we have 21 political parties out here, and they got 2 more forming, I say, you serious? What are you guys doing? This is about the country. This is about us. This is about the next generation.
Yeah.
And I don't feel the love, bro. Yeah. I don't feel the love from my people. And like I said to you earlier, our people don't recognize their own and the greatness that they have among them. We often quote Miles Monroe, right? But Miles Monroe had to go out of this country to get respect. We have to change that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me and Coakley said to me, You know, there's never been an activist that has done as much as you. He said, and I'm not talking about the Bahamas. I'm talking about the globe. You've lost everything fighting for your country, even your health.
Mm-hmm.
I got no support, Link. I got no support, and I'm the easiest person for someone to turn their back on. Because I don't act like a god. There's no one out there can tell you, Casey talked to me like a dog, or Casey just disrespect me. I try to make everybody understand that there's a God inside them, and they deserve better. You should not be worshiping these members of parliament, especially the PLP and the F&M, who did this to us.
Yeah. Well, I wanna say this to you as a person. I recognize the hard work that you have given over the years. I recognize it, and I see it, and I think everybody should recognize it. Many times a prophet isn't respected in his own home. I've experienced that, and I have no problem with that. Because what I do, I don't do unto people. I do because it's the right thing to do. I do it unto God. And I do it just because it's right. And that's it. I don't care if anyone appreciates it. Normally they appreciate you when you're gone. But I will say this to you, KCX, as a brother, that, a lot of people went after you today because of what they heard in the voice note and that kind of stuff. I'm going to say this to you, that as a brother, I love you and I appreciate you. All right?
Same here. Like I said to you earlier also, you understand that everything that I've worked for in terms of labor of love for this country, I laid at your feet and I stood with you. And I stand with you again. I stand with Lincoln Bain again today. I don't care what they think, that's their business. What you are on is a cause that is possible. It can work. The only problem we have is we have so many people pulling against this movement. They don't want nothing to do with us. They don't think it could work. And what else could work? You think with 21 political parties out there, they're not going to play a role in taking some votes away from us? Or people saying, no, I can't take a chance because you're too fragmented, and go back to either the PLP or the F&M? That's what's going to happen. This is the same thing that took place in 2011.
KCX, I want you to understand something. 2021 is not 2011. 2021 is not 2017. There is a different thing going on. There's a total different thing going on. Bahamians have woken up. They have gone back and forth so many times that they've experienced something. You can see it in the air. There are more people for us than against us. And this is a battle of faith. This is a battle that you've been fighting for the last 30 years. You cannot give up on the last stretch. You cannot run the 400-meter dash and give up at 380 meters. You have to die for the finish line if you have to. This is not going to be easy. And I told you and everybody else involved with this that this is not going to be easy. That this is billions and trillions of dollars at stake. And that these people are going to fight. And they're going to fight us. And they're going to send people to try to get us to turn on each other and turn against each other. They're going to try to get other parties to not join up on us. They're going to try to fund those other third parties to make them feel that they have a chance so that they won't agree with us. If we put out there in the public, KCX, that the only way for us to win is for all of the third parties to come together, then you just told the enemy how they can defeat you. I do not believe that that is true. But if you tell them, then all they got to do is go to the other third parties and say, listen, we'll fund you all. Don't join with Lincoln and KCX them. You just told them how to beat you. All right? And what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take that money and they're going to do what they have to do, because there is trillions of dollars at stake over the next 5 years. All right? And so we know that this is a serious battle, and we cannot let them deter us from what we have to do. The Bahamian people are depending on us. They are depending on us to finish this and finish this strong. We have a few months to the new Bahamas. Minister has to call this election in short order, because they're going to raise VAT to 15% and then to 20%. All right, we have a few months to the new Bahamas. We cannot get weary. I don't sleep. I work. I push every single day and night, and you can't get weary. You cannot align with everyone. If aligning with everyone is how you're going to get success, then you are never going to get success. You have to align with people who have the same mindset and vision as you. That's not everyone. People who are not going to sell out. If you feel like you have to align with everyone, then you're going to end up lining up with sellouts. You have to be able to identify those sellouts and cut them off. If your right hand offends you, cut it off, Jesus said. It's not everyone you can align with. Some people got to go. And you have to understand that. I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for soldiers who are going to stand up with us and do the right thing. If someone, and I've put it out there several times, KCX, I have told all of those third-party leaders, I am willing to sacrifice whatever it takes to make this happen. I've put it out there. To come to the table. I don't need to name whatever the organization is going to be. I don't need to be the leader. We just need to get this to happen. All right? Simple as that. We have put it out there to them. If they don't want to come, they don't want to come. The Bahamian people are ready for change. They know that we are the people who are going to stand up. This is not any time to be talking about Brave Davis and them. Listen, someone asked me the other day, Ortland Bodie, if I had a LH, I think a call I'd called in. If I had to choose between the FNM and PLP, which one would I choose? That's not a question I will even answer, because that is not the only options. We have an option now. All right? So I'm not going to be talking about if I have to choose. No, we don't have to join up with all the third parties. Last election, KCX, all the third parties combined. That was the most third parties in the history of the Bahamas. All the third parties combined couldn't even get to 10% of the vote of the DNA. People are going to choose the one they want. They're going to choose the third party that they want to go with. They're not going to split that. They've never split their vote between all the third parties. The third parties and independents have never gotten the amount of votes as the recognized third party. Never. So if they choose to come, they come. You have third party leaders who got 25 votes in their constituency last time. 25 votes. You have third-party leaders who got 9 votes in their constituency last time. If they don't want to come, then they don't want to come. We are on a mission for the Bahamian people. Don't get distracted. Everyone doesn't have to come. But who comes? We're going to stand up. If we are the 300, if we are the Gideon soldiers, we don't need 32,000. We need this 300 strong. And that is what I believe. Don't give up right before the end of the race. All right? If you want to take a break, you have to focus on your health or whatever it takes. That's up to you. But I am telling you that I am in this to the very end and to the last drop of my blood and to the last drop of my sweat. And no one is going to tell me that we cannot win this against these uncircumcised Philistines. So, bro, I know how you feel. I know what you're going through. But we are in this to win this. I am in this to win this. Stay strong. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a conversation sometime before the last election with my brother, KCX. KCX apologized to me before he died. I did nothing but show him love. I did not retaliate or anything like that. And that's what I do. I don't go after my worst enemies for personal attacks on me. I couldn't care less. Listen. I have alligator skin. I'm a lion with alligator skin. People and their opinions don't move me because none of us are perfect. I just want to say to KCX and his family that we're going to fight on. We're going to continue this. And one day, hopefully we can name something after KCX, one of the persons who started this fight. He deserves it. He put up a good fight until the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. I'm sure he's looking from wherever he is, and he's proud that we are continuing this fight and that we never stopped even after election. All right? And so just want you to know that we're going to continue this fight. You're not going to end with who you start with. And you can't start these talks that You need everyone. There's some people who are going to be sellouts. If that's who they are, they can't go. Do you know why Paul and Barnabas separated? They were both anointed to go and build the churches. They were anointed together to go and do it together. When the trouble came and the rough start parts came, Paul was attacked, stoned, whatever. There's a big fight. There was someone called John Marks, and he break off running, pretend he wasn't with them. You know, you always have these people who abandon you when it's the rough time. And after everything was cool, John Marks came again. They was going to continue on their journey. And Paul said, John Mark, you can't go with us. You're weak. You get in the way. You will sell out. Paul said, John Mark, you cannot come with us. Now, John Mark was Barnabas' cousin. And Barnabas said, but Paul, that's my cousin. He's like, your cousin is weak. He's a sellout. When the rough times came, he chickened out. And he left us. He cannot go with us. And Barnabas said, but that's I can't leave my cousin. And Paul said, well, you stay with your cousin. You choose. And he chose to stay with his cousin. Paul said, you can't have everybody. We need strong people. Because if Randall Fox was a weak man, even though he was hurting and hungry and couldn't buy no clothes or food or feed his family, because he was struggling, because he was in the battle, they took away his law license. This is how they fight you and battle you, and then they come and say, oh, look at him. All right, he don't have this, he don't have that. Look at that, this business failed, that business failed. They attack you. And then use their attacks to criticize you. Randall Fox, no matter what he was going through, he did not sign that blank check. He did not accept that blank check from the UBP. We need a whole army of Randall Foxes. And that's all I'm looking for. So if you see me have to reject some people, don't judge me. I don't need to be the man. But I need some strong men and women who are not going to sell out. That's all I'm looking for. And if I've seen you sell out before, you're going to prove yourself to me moving forward. Because if you're John Mark, you can't come with me. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to continue to stand strong. This is a sacrifice for myself. I want you to think. You see me every week. You see me fighting. Yeah, some people doing voice notes. Oh, he poor. He ain't got no money. The PLP him have money. You see me every week, right? I'm not hungry. I don't need for nothing. I just had to change the way I do things so they don't know how to attack me. This is a sacrifice. Do you think they're going to let me open any business? You know, since election, I attempted to open a business account at 2 banks, and they said no. Bank of the Bahamas and Commonwealth Bank. I have the letters. Why? I just come from the top. Been with 2 of those banks for years, probably from when I was a teenager. Never owed them $1. Never had an overdraft. Never had an incident with them where they had to freeze in the account or do anything. Just pure business bringing money to them. This election, Bank of the Bahamas, no business account. This country we have. And you see, I don't talk about myself, you know. I talk about my personal battles. I'm busy fighting for everyone else. But I just think it's good for you all to know these things. It took us almost a year to open up our COI bank account, you know. Almost a year. And guess what? I'm not on the account. Like Randall Fox. Randall can stand through this country and go to New York and work. Hustle, wash dishes. Because he believed that we could have a better Bahamas run by Bahamians, black Bahamians. I believe that we could have a new Bahamas. And yeah, you have to sacrifice. And yes, Miss Green gonna have to sacrifice. Yeah, Marie got to sacrifice, and all of us. Don't get distracted. They're gonna come at us. They're gonna say all kind of lies and distractions. They're gonna come at me. They got probably more lawsuits. They're gonna probably find something to arrest you for, and because they don't want you to eat. They want to eat, but they don't want you to eat too. In the New Bahamas, all of us can eat. And to those crooked police officers who are doing the bidding of these crooked politicians, ask yourself one question. What if we win? Now ask yourself another question. What happens when we win? Follow every lawful order, but you are not obligated to follow any unlawful order. That's all I have to say about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for tuning in. We're doing this because we love you as Bahamians, and we're doing this because we love our country, and that's all it is for us. We're doing this because of love. Thank you to all of you. We can have a new Bahamas. We will have a new Bahamas. We went extra long today because I started out talking about all this other stuff. I just thought I should clear the air. Stop sharing these nonsense. These fools lying and trying to distract you while they're passing bills like what you saw Tuesday. If you're just tuning in to the office of the Governor General, that's opposite Montague. So if you want to come, you can come. We're going to be across the street on Montague. We're going to have a press conference. We're inviting the media to come out. They like to run when Pintad call them. So hopefully they'll come out. Otherwise, we'll be on live. And we're going to you what exactly it is we are filing for the Commission of Inquiry for, and then we're going to deliver it to the Governor General. All right, it's a act of democracy. All right, that's all it is. All right, and we're going to be in Andros next weekend, August the 18th. We're going to be in Andros. We're going to be at the Clara L. McKenzie Preschool in South Andros on the 18th, and on the 19th, we're going to be at the Mangrove Key, South Andros. So if you have family and friends in South Andros, tell them that change is coming to South Andros. We're going to every island, every constituency. It's going to take some time, so it's a good thing we have some time. Please support us. If you're able to, please contribute to what we're doing. We're going to win this one person at a time like Obama did. Small contributions, and he raised the most in history through small contributions. We don't want nothing from the oligarchs. But if you're a true Bahamian who believes in it, you can't just believe it and say, oh, Lincoln, you all keep going. You have to help us keep going. You want us to get into every constituency on every island, you have to help us do that. When we go out to walkabouts with our people, we should have Gatorade and water and that kind of stuff for them. Everything is a cost, all right? The PLP and the FNM, they're constantly out there raising funds. But they make sport of us when we go out there and raise funds. But that's fine. Change is coming, and all of us are going to benefit from what belongs to us. Thank you all so very much. Remember, Keith Bell is moving to Hawkins Hill, and they're going to try to put Ms. Ferguson, the director, on leave. All right? So the battle continues. Don't talk about what they want you to talk about. Don't get distracted with this in school and that in school foolishness. That was never said. Keep focus on your money. We have something the whole world needs. One, we're in the gateway to America. Be powerful. Two, the world needs sand. We got the most of it left. Wake up. They need limestone. We got the most and the best of it. Wake up. We are going to negotiate from a position of strength moving forward. All we need is strong, non-corruptible leaders. Thank you all so much. We will get there together. Ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Remember, change ain't coming. Change is there.